Hello friends, it's Chris from Electric Rides, back again with another review of an e-bike, or should I say e-trike, that was sent my way, the Viribus Trio. Just to be clear, this electric trike was sent to me from Viribus, free of charge for review. However, I'm not getting paid to make a video, and these are my honest opinions. For starters, the trike that I received is the standard Trio model. It looks like Viribus makes a Trio Plus version as well, however, this is just the regular Trio. The stats that it comes with are a 250 watt geared hub motor located on the front wheel that is listed to peak at 500 watts. The Trio has a 36 volt 360 watt hour battery located behind the seat tube. It has your standard pedal assist and twist throttle to activate the motor assistance, as well as a very basic LED display and your standard headlight and electronic horn. It has a V-brake on the front tire and a drum brake for the two rear tires. Both are mechanical, steel cable actuated. The trike weighs about 70 pounds total and has a total cargo capacity of 330 pounds, with the rear rack able to hold 55 pounds of that. At the time of me recording this, the Viribus Trio is priced about $780 plus tax with free shipping. I was eager to check out an electric trike since my only real experience riding an e-trike was a short test ride on the Rad Trike model by Rad Power Bikes. So I wanted to try out an e-trike for longer than the 10 minutes or so that I had on that. And I have to say that riding the Trio was a blast. Overall, the trike feels like it's geared more towards casual riders that are just looking to cruise around the neighborhood or down some bike paths in their area. I was initially worried that the 250 watt motor wouldn't be able to pull my chubby self around, but it handled it just fine. As I mentioned, the Trio has a standard half-grip twist throttle as well as a cadence sensor at the crank. However, since the Trio only has a single speed, I did notice that once you get up to about 10 miles per hour, the ghost pedaling starts to set in, meaning that you won't feel a lot of resistance in your pedal strokes, and for the most part, you're really just turning the pedals to keep the motor assistance going. This may not be a problem for some people, but since I usually ride pretty fast, I noticed it may be an issue for me. Also, there doesn't seem to be a way to adjust the pedal assist level, so it's always on, and there's no way to dial it down for a leisurely ride or crank it up for more motor assistance. I had initially thought that the big red button on the throttle would turn the trike on and off, however, this button only controls the power to the throttle. The pedal assist is always on, regardless of whether that's on or off. If you want to ride this trike without the motor, you'll have to switch off the battery entirely. Viribus indicates that the Trio comes with an LCD display, but it looks to come with a basic LED one instead. It doesn't list anything such as your speed, odometer, pedal assist level, since there's no way to adjust that, or anything other than a basic 4-level battery gauge. This may not be a bad thing, since I hear there are a lot of people that just want to ride around and aren't worried about bells and whistles or keeping a constant eye on their bike's display. For me, I barely gave it a second glance on all of my rides, which was actually a pretty nice change of pace, since I tend to constantly glance at the display of other e-bikes. With the Trio, I spent more time looking around at where I was going and the scenery around me than watching numbers on a digital screen. However, to test the capabilities of the Trio, I did open a GPS speedometer app on my phone to see what the speed tops out at. It looks as though the trike has a max speed of about 15 miles per hour, depending on the weight on the bike, which is on par for most e-trikes. If you really crank those pedals, you may be able to go faster, but that's up to you. The front wheel has a V-brake, which is great if you don't want to fiddle with screeching disc brakes or constant adjustments. The rear has a drum brake, but thankfully it is still controlled with a standard brake lever, so you don't have to pedal backwards like you do with the coaster brake. Like the other trike I test rode, the Trio is a single wheel on the front and 2 in the rear, so it can make turning a bit unstable at higher speeds. You'll have to remember to slow down and lean into the turns if needed. I've only had an issue once while turning, where I had to take a sharp turn and forgot to slow down to a reasonable speed. Entirely my fault.
Whoa, jeez. Don't take anything sharply.
As far as assembly goes on this trike, it's quite an undertaking. This trike comes in a relatively small box and is in many pieces, so there's a lot of putting together that you'll have to do yourself. There are moments while I was assembling where I felt like Henry Fonda on Christmas morning from the movie Yours, Mine, and Ours.
I've had 6 scooters, 3 wagons, a fire engine. This is the last bicycle. General Motors couldn't have kept up.
Well, hurry up, dear.
Viribus has an assembly video on their YouTube page to guide you on the process, so like always, I definitely recommend checking it out to see just how in-depth it is before ordering anything. Personally though, I think that if you're at least semi-competent with a wrench, you should be able to handle it. Just be warned. The Trio is a decent and inexpensive electric trike. If you or someone you love needs the added stability of 3 wheels over a regular 2-wheeled e-bike and are not wanting to spend a ton of money, it's a good low-cost option. Just keep in mind that there are sacrifices made to keep the cost low, such as the full-featured LCD display, stronger motor, larger, more powerful battery, and of course, less of a hands-on assembly process. Finding an e-trike with all of these things will probably double the price of what you'll find with the Trio. I'll leave a link to the Viribus website if you want to check them out. It's not an affiliate link, and like I mentioned earlier, this trike was sent to me free of charge to review. However, I'm not being paid to do so. Let me know what you guys think, and if you're thinking about picking one up. Otherwise, I thank you for watching and hope that you enjoyed this quick review video. And as always, keep riding.